Hello one and all, this is Soulful Lordy, James Bullock, once again with another video game first impressions. This time around, Octopath Traveler 2 for the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Octopath Traveler 2, of course, is the sequel to the original Octopath Traveler, but thankfully, this game actually is a completely new story. So for gamers that didn't have the ability to play the original, this game has no bearings to that beyond the fact that it does take a lot of the tools from the original Octopath Traveler and implants it into this game with better variations and upgrades and a lot of quality of life improvements. From a gameplay perspective, Octopath Traveler really isn't that unique. It is a turn-based JRPG, where of course you take a character or characters, depending on how big your party is, and defeat certain enemies, be it humans, monsters, or even apparitions. The interesting aspects when it comes to the battle and combat system has to be rooted in both the characters that you utilize and the boost and break systems. The boost system is rooted to the player itself. As you land successful attacks or defend properly and don't die, a little meter will increase on the right hand corner of the screen for that character. And with the boost, you're able to not only increase the power output of your character, but it will also add to the amount of not only damage done, but also the amount of strikes done. And by boosting, you're able to not only land just a single strike, but also multiple follow-up strikes with both your abilities and your regular attacks, depending on how high you boosted your character. Because you can stack the boost. You can either just do it once and have a +1, or you can wait until the meter is full and produce this grandiose display of power, be it with a simple attack or one of your skills. Now, when it comes to the break system is rooted on how you attack enemies. If you're able to hit enemies with a critical strike, especially if you're utilizing a tool, a weapon, or a magic spell that is rooted to their weak point, it will break them, which is stunning them. And that will allow you to not only do more damage to that enemy, but also will force that enemy to lose a turn. So if you're able to, thankfully the game actually displays the vulnerabilities of each enemy once you discover it. If you're able to stun the enemy, you're able to land continuous attacks and potentially avoid damage completely, ensuring that you have a break on an enemy and potentially doing an overkill will actually boost the amount of XP that you attain, as expected when it comes to not only the previous game but also the genre as a whole. The class system plays a big role in how each character plays, what kind of skills and abilities they have. But most importantly, when it comes to Octopath Traveler, there are two sets of skills, one that is learned and one that is adapted to whatever the scenario is. Going back to the warrior class, he has a set of skills that he attains automatically, mostly because of leveling up and just what the game gives you at the beginning. But he also has learned skills, and this is tied into his character interaction with other NPCs that are scattered throughout the map, where you're able to walk up to that character and challenge them to a duel. And if you win that duel, you'll gain a specific ability that, just like, say, Pokemon, is a limited amount of slots. So if you get that ability and you run out of slots, you have to sacrifice either that ability or one of the other abilities that you have. So there are two sets of skills that you are learning as you're playing with each character, be it the skills that you're learning manually or the skills that are given to you automatically, which of course opens up a big realm of possibilities in how you control and craft your characters, no matter what class they're a part of. This also ties into the ability to control the day and night cycle. As you move throughout a map, you can fight and interact with characters during the day, or with the touch of the button in the case of the PlayStation, the R2 button, at night. The enemies at night though are a lot more dangerous, but they give of course more XP if you're able to conquer them. Thankfully, I didn't have that much trouble against the enemies. There were a few times I did fail, and that was simply because of my own doing and not because of the game's incredible difficulty. Now, another aspect when it comes to the combat system is the latent powers, which are essentially a limit break for every playable character. The more damage you take, the meter fills up. But unlike, say, limit breaks in Final Fantasy VII, where you get a special maneuver only, latent powers actually accentuate certain abilities, or actually do give you extra abilities when you activate the latent powers. For example, when it comes to the warrior class, you get a whole new set of actual abilities and skills and maneuvers, whereas another class, like the merchant class, actually emphasizes the learned or known skills that the character actually already has. Now, for those who are more used to quest markers and pretty much waypoints, when it comes to side quests, this game doesn't offer you that. It is very old school in presentation, so it may take you a while to figure out some of the paths that will lead to you completing side quests. The game looks fantastic, it sounds fantastic. I had no major or even minor issues with both the technical aspects, frame rate drops, character interactions. Overall, just like I said when it came to the demo, and I'll say it again with the full release, Octopath Traveler 2 is a fantastic throwback to an RPG style that could be considered outdated, but when done right, as seen by here, it is still just as fantastic and enjoyable as any other RPG system there is available right now. As of right now, I cannot give this any more recommendation than buy it when you get the chance if you haven't already. If you have, more than likely you're enjoying it just as much as I am. And if you're waiting for a while to see how it all plays out, I say don't wait, pick it up when you get the chance. So there you have it. This has been Soulful Lordy, James Bullock, once again with another video game first impressions. Octopath Traveler 2 for the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Now if you don't mind, I have to go back and try to figure out how in the world am I going to help save these poor people from desolation and, more appropriately, being taken advantage of. There's only one way I know how, and that is to make those crooks who try to steal their land from them say, "Oh Lordy."